Perhaps that'll help. Yes, no, maybe. 1, 2. Okay, great. Well, I don't know exactly how quiet that was before, but basically, long story short, went to the swap meet, picked up a bunch of stuff, and I thought I would just kind of share some of these things that I got. We'll kind of maybe test a few things just depending. Probably do some cleaning a little bit later on. Hey Steve, welcome to the stream. So let's just get started with that, and I'm sure if anybody wants to hear me ramble from the first bit, they can turn it up. Yeah, it's bad influence on. I think it was more on you this time, since there's a 286 laptop coming your way, but you're gonna love that thing. So let's look at this as the first kind of thing. This was actually a free item. There was somebody pulled up actually pretty late in the show, and they had a few items on the table that I was looking at. Oh yeah, great. They had a few items on the table that I was looking at, but then she pointed over to a bag and said, everything in this bag here is free. This is what looks like a nice FD90. Unfortunately, let's see if this can show pretty well here. Focus, maybe? Yeah, there we go. This screen is busted. Beyond that, I cheated a little bit. There was a battery that came with it, so it was worth it even with the broken screen. I wanted it for the battery, the lens cap, because I can always use extras of those. Sometimes I find them without, and you got a nice strap. I did charge the battery, and you can see it does power on, but there is just no life. I tried putting floppy disk in. It makes no noise. There's like nothing going on with this poor thing. So it's a bit of a shame, but hey, at least the battery does hold a charge. Oh, thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that. So, I would have liked to have been able to mess with this one a little more. I'm sure I'll probably find something eventually that's a similar model with the way my luck's been going. But one thing that was kind of interesting is this has an auto and manual focus mode here, and this ring here actually turns, so you've got like a nice, very smooth ring for manual focus. Yeah. Well, the sad thing is I've got probably now about as big a stack of those batteries for this. This is the L-type battery. I've probably got a stack about as big of ones that no longer will charge as I do ones that thankfully do still hold a charge. Got really lucky on this one, and it holds a charge. So it just went through a charge cycle here's a few hours earlier. So, I mean, well worth it even for the battery. So that was a pretty good find. And I'm just going to go through some of the boring things, but this was also in the bag. It's just a Yashica FR2 film camera. I picked it up. The bag actually had a number of cameras with bodies. I think they were all pretty common stuff. I don't think there was anything like a Pentax or Minolta, anything to that type of level. But I grabbed this when I picked it out of the bag, and this is just like a pro tip for anyone who's messing with film stuff. Some of these cameras are electromagnetic, and they need a battery in order to operate. So when I picked this up, you could see the advance lever is locked. There's no shutter sound, and you might be tempted to think, well, it's a lost cause, it's probably broke, and in some cases that's absolutely true. But I brought this home. You've got a battery hatch right here. I just I put a battery in, it was actually, thankfully, the battery had been taken out, so no leakage, anything like that. But I popped a battery in, and it's working. I took the battery back out because it's in my AE1 for the moment, but you know, a nice little thing for free. I might try running some film through it. We'll see. I haven't quite decided yet. Obviously, it needs a little bit of a cleanup, and I'm sure this camera came out in about like 1977, so I'm sure it's well overdue for some kind of servicing. Whether it's worth doing all that, I'm not sure, but again, it's something film is something I tinker with a little bit. Oh yeah, definitely not too bad.
What's your channel?
Here's another thing. There was, of course, there's always some people that come out there with some 3D print type items. So there was a Robocop bust. I wasn't really too excited about that, but it came with this, which was this rather large 3D print Ed 209, and I have always loved this little killbot. It is like one of my favorite designs, and it's just so cool, the detail. He's got the little power batteries. I mean, you've got the different, magazines for his weapons. He's got the little rocket pack here. I mean, it's just amazing what folks can do with the 3D printers. I mean, a lot of stuff moves, articulates. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of work because he's a little iffy on wanting to fall forward. I might see if I can counterbalance, or I might just have to use a little glue and fix him right in place. But I mean, that is just like super cool. This ended up being about like 15 for the two things. Obviously folks that if they own printers, they can just kind of do this stuff themselves, and you're probably only not talking about that much in PLA. But, for me, I don't have a 3D printer, so it's sometimes just easier to find something, let someone else go through the trouble of printing it. So, but I'm really happy about that. This guy's definitely going on the shelf, and we'll put Robocop near him somewhere. So, all right, let's get to some other items, and let me set this off the side. Okay. Well, let's just start with, I've got a bag here. I'm going to just start. So I picked this up. It just kind of caught my eye. It's some kind of Japanese RPG for the PC. Looked like it was pretty well complete. Had the disc and everything. I did notice that since I can't read a lick of Japanese, I did happen to see that it says Windows 95, 98. So it's probably, let's see if this will focus. So it's probably something about that era, and you can see a CPU requirement of about a Pentium 100 to 133. The box caught my eye. This was, I think it ended up being like $5 or something like that. Now, somebody was telling me it's possible that even if I wanted to tinker with this, I might need a Japanese copy of Windows, that this may not install in a regular copy of Windows. And it's fine. If it doesn't, it's still kind of it's just a neat oddball kind of thing. So, I was happy to pick that up. Let's see. Now, there was a gentleman out here. Now, I'm going to preface this. Let's get to these first. Did pick up a couple manuals. I think I do have Legend of Legaia already, so probably have a manual, but it was $1. The Legaia 2 was also $1. So this was the same table that had the game that I was just showing you. But for $1 each, why not? So let me see here. Now there's a few items here that my partner in crime that was walking around with me picked up, but let me just show some of those off as well, because it's in the bag. This was kind of neat. I mean, it was in rough shape, but it's a instruction manual for the Bard's Tale. What really caught his eye about that is that someone has put a lot of handwritten notes, and somebody made themselves a little handwritten map, that kind of thing. Some other notes. This is the kind of stuff like we're both on the same page when it comes to this. It's just neat. It's a little piece of history in there. Just kind of thinking about somebody who knows how old they were when they played, but they were, just keeping notes as they went through. So I love this. I almost honestly like a manual that's been written in by someone, at least when they originally had it, almost more than a clean manual. So let's see. Here was just something else. Now, that I was just showing you, and some of these other things, they all came from like the same guy. Hey Dave, welcome to the stream. There was a guy out there, and his story was that, he was retired. He had just a pile of things. It was a lot of variety. There was a lot of console type cartridge games, and I'll get to some of that here in a moment, but Coco, Atari, 2600, 5200, Coleco, TI-99 games. There were consoles. There was an NES. He was selling. There was another young guy that was purchasing off of him. He had like boxes, and I'm talking like the banker's boxes, stacked with laptops. He was selling those for like $15 a box. That kid loaded up. He bought 4 boxes, so he's going to have a fun time going through all of that. Just the guy had really super reasonable prices. By the way, Mike, that's where your laptop came from as well. He had super reasonable prices, and I mean, some of the stuff is in very rough shape. That's just kind of how it is. But there were a lot of things that he was just like, here, if a box was smashed, so take for instance like this Knights game box. It's some kind of Commodore, or it used to be a Commodore 64 128 game. He was just like, here, take it. Because he was just trying to downsize, get rid of some things. So this, I would say this booth was the MVP of the whole swap meet. I got a ton of stuff from there. I think a lot of other people did as well. So if you were there and went by, you likely probably picked something up from him. So some of these things I think, my friend picked up just because it caught his eye. It was just, the way you get things sometimes just because they have a neat cover. I don't really know much about this one, but Demon Stalkers here. It looks almost like, some of this almost looks a bit like a Gauntlet clone. Just kind of looking at some of these pages. It actually does have a disc in it as well. So, oh yeah, Dave, it really was. And here's even the book for that. So, neat little find. And I think every bit of this was like free from the guy. So, let's see. I'm sorry, this is going to go back and forth to random things. Oh, thanks, Cookie. Yep, a Gauntlet clone. There is my partner in crime picking up his stuff. Let's see. Sounds like it. Yeah, answered that. Okay, so this, I mean, and again, this is just what was so surprising. I walked by and there was a box. Let's get this in frame. There was a box under a table, and I saw this, and of course the Suncon caught my eye, but the style of it also did. But I also noticed, I was like, hey, that's got a game port and a DB9. So this is probably something that's like both PC and Apple Mac compatible, or at least Apple. And lo and behold, you turn it over, and Yep, there we go. You have the IBM PC and Apple II switch. All you have to do is swap it back and forth. It's got a little trigger button on top, buttons here, your little adjustments. This I picked up and I'm like, how much is it? And the guy just straight up told me, he's like, well, that's my free box, so you can just have it. So I mean, this is, I got a Suncom joystick for free. I mean, this is like what was so surprising to me today with this was just, again, some of the free stuff that came up, and that's going to be great. I mean, I have a couple Apple joysticks. I have one of the ones that's, I guess, supposed to be like the really sought after nice one. I don't think it's all that great, because I've got one that I guess is the more common one. It's kind of brown, and it seems to work better than the supposed nice one, but either way. But like, these are just so handy to have, so I can use it for both my old PCs and for the Apple II. So really happy about that. Let's see. Oh, okay. Another table had these wonderful things. This one was what I was really happy to find, because at the last VCF East, there was a Mac setup that had SimCity that I talked about or shared pictures of. It was running SimCity, and I was sitting there playing and using this trackball, and I'm like, oh, I want a trackball for my Mac. And this one is ADB and serial, so it may even work on a PC, I'm not sure, but I really wanted this to use, like, say, with a Mac. But yeah, it's got a beautiful little trackball thing. It feels really nice and smooth. I'm hoping it'll work well. The same table had this one, and it was also ADB. I guess it's a, sorry if this is way too bright, but Mac Track. Microspeed Incorporated. I got both of these for $5 each. So, I really do like trackballs. As far as, like, if I'm not doing anything that's too, like, super twitchy gaming or anything like that, just like normal use of a computer, I really like these. So I'm really looking forward to using them. But this one most of all. So another nice set of finds. Nothing too exciting here. There was the same table that had those two mice also had, here we go, some half-height graphics cards. I think these are PCIe, I want to say. I basically got these because I have a small form factor computer that I use for my media PC, and the graphics card in it is okay, but it's on board. So I've been trying to look for something that is Windows 10 compatible, that will work. So I'm going to give these a try, see if maybe it'll be happy with one of these. I've tried it before with another half height that in Windows 10 just did not like it. So, and it's possible same for these. They may be too old, but these were $1 each. So I figured, hey, I'll pick it up, give it a shot. Nothing, no big loss there. Let's see what's in the chat. And newer Macs, not serial per se. Okay. Well, if it works for the Mac on the ADB, that's really all that I really got it for. So I'm not sure on that. Oh, and it has dip switches for some reason. So if the other thing is like some kind of weird, I mean, it looks like a DB9, but if it's not for PC, I'm not too worried about that. Oh, let's see. Okay, so here's another group of things that I picked up. This was from the older gentleman that just, like I said, had a ton of stuff. Now, the downside to a lot of this is that this stuff was pretty crusty. Thankfully, there were some things in packages, so maybe, just maybe, let me open this and see. Yeah, so at least inside the package, it's good. But I picked up a number of Coco games. I got actually 2 copies of Dungeons of Daggerath, which is, a really interesting exploration game on the Coco. A lot of people like it. It's hard as heck, but it is fun. So, let's see. Also got Super Pitfall for the Coco. There's the other Dungeons of Daggeroth. Let's see here. What was this one? This is a copy of Tetris also for the Coco. So, kind of interesting. I can say that my first foray into Tetris was the OG Game Boy, so I've never tried it on the Coco, I don't think. There was also... What is this? Something called Bokobon. So I'm not exactly... focus. There you go. So I think this is kind of like one of those block slider puzzles. So, but wait, there's more. There's also... Let's see here. Oh, yes. I don't think I picked this one up. I think my other one here picked this one up. It's a game called The Eidolon. Again, kind of a neat thing. You can see it's pretty crusty and smush, but hey, it can probably clean a little. And it looks like the disc is in there. Now, whether or not it works, I don't know, but... this is for Commodore 64, 128, or Atari. So I'm sure everybody that's on here already kind of knows how this stuff works, but it's pretty typical for games like this. The front side might be Commodore, and then if you have the Atari, you just flip it over and the back side has the Atari. So, yeah, it has the disc, so you lucked out on that one too. This was another one that we both spotted and added to the pile. Stunt Track Racer. Oh, well, seems there was a freebie hiding underneath Face Off, which might be baseball or something. I'm not sure. There's a few little manuals and things. Medalist titles. So... there may be manuals and some paperwork for both of these games in here, but obviously what we got it for was the Stunt Track Racer, which was something that Kooky played quite a bit on, I think on his Amiga growing up. And then I picked up this copy of Victory Road. Again, the camera almost doesn't do it justice. It looks better, but if you can kind of see... this stuff is got, kind of a bit of a mold crustiness. Some of this will clean off. It's not great, but you can definitely see it here where, water, moisture. Well, actually, this is more like dust. So I guess maybe some of this is actually dust and not mold, which is good. But either way, this will kind of clean off a bit, but copy of Victory Road. I had the original Ikari Warriors 1 that I played on my XT back in the day. I actually have a nice boxed copy of that, but I figured, hey, it's Ikari 2, why not? Go ahead and pick it up. So this stack was like one of our first runs at the guy's booth that I was talking about, or his spot. I think we got all of this for $10 here. So again, I'm gonna have to wipe down, clean, try to re-straighten, fix this sort of stuff. But for what is that, like five Coco games, a couple three, four Commodore games in boxes. You can't hardly beat that. So let me set some of this aside and we'll get to the next. Okay. Okay, let me just grab the next thing. Oh, here we'll do this little item. Okay, so one of the things I've really been looking around for, this isn't exactly it, but I'm always keeping my eye out for any kind of like older drawing tablets, and this was on a table. I think this should be serial of some sort. I don't think it's maybe possible that this could be used on a Mac, but I'm guessing this is like some kind of old tablet for a PC is most likely the case. Let me get through some of these cables. Yeah, so this has got a lot of plugs, a lot of different things, but guess you've got like the larger serial. Is that 232, RS-232, I believe? And you've got a power input on it there as well, which then hooks in all these. Basically, I'm going to have to do some research on this before I probably can hook it up and figure out what I need to do to get it working. So it has okay, so there's this switch here, T and M, is probably for like tablet and mouse mode. It's possible there was a maybe something that came with it, or it may just change how the pen works. But it was, I think this was like $5. I wanted to pick it up, and I'll tinker with it, see how it goes. Hopefully I can get it working. So, oh, it looks like Dave subscribed to the channel. Thanks, Dave. Keeping in theme with the wacky mouse pickups, there was also another trackball. This one's kind of neat. It has the buttons up here, so I guess you just use your thumb. This one is Trackball Model 300. There you go. Just keep it simple, I guess. Let's see. There we are. So this one you can let's see. This you can probably hear that maybe a bit in the mic. It sounds a little crunchy, so I'm probably going to have to see about taking this one apart and giving it a good cleaning, but I'm sure it'll probably clean up. This is a serial mouse, so most likely for PC. But again, if I can get this cleaned up and working a little smoother, it may be a neat little mouse. It's definitely dirty. Again, may not show up as well. It may look a little cleaner on camera than it actually is, but it'll be something to look into. I'm not sure that, normally you would hope that these would just either drop out or this would like twist and open. It doesn't seem to, so I think I'm going to have to go in, take these 4 screws out and open it up and go in from the back to service it. But looking forward to that. I believe this one was also like a $5 purchase, so, not terrible. I honestly, in this kind of shape, I probably would normally like to be a little less, but I mean, how often are you going to find like really oddball type mice like this? So yeah, no, it doesn't twist. I mean, I've tried, I'm putting a little pressure there trying to twist counterclockwise or clockwise, and this isn't giving. So it looks like it should twist, and maybe if I open it up I'll see, but I think my guess is this ring is probably just clipped in to help prevent the ball from actually falling out. So there's probably just clips on the inside is my guess, and you can pop those out from underneath, and then this will lift up, and then you can take the trackball out. So let's put that back. What else? Thought we were done with games, we're not. Same gentleman that had all the other games that I was showing you, like for the Coco. This was a pretty neat find. This is actually sealed. It is a SSI game, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Heroes of the Lance. This is probably not quite as popular as a lot of the others. I think this is this is more of like a fighting style game, I believe, more so than, like the typical SSI adventures. But, I mean, sealed, how can you say no? I think this ended up being $5 as well from that gentleman. I can't remember on this one because I think Kooky bought this one. But we also found Hillsfar as well. Box is in rough shape. It's kind of got that gritty feel, but some of this will definitely clean off, and you could probably get the box reshaped a little bit. But it does have the disc, has the booklets. I think there's even maps. I want to say, oh yeah. For things like this, it's almost worth it alone. Look at this. This is probably not going to all fit, but you get like these fun wall advertisement posters that you can set up. It's worth it for that. $2, okay. So that copy might have been like a $2 purchase. So again, can't beat that. All right. Wait on that for a second. I spotted this before I spotted all the other Coco games. So some of this stuff is from another batch. Spotted this Temple of Ram. This is actually a lot of fun on the Coco. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of what to compare it to. It almost is like playing, if you've ever played like the Intellivision Dungeons and Dragons, where you're kind of running through, at least when you're in the dungeons or the mountain caves. It's kind of like that. You're kind of running through, but I think you have kind of like a ray gun of some sort, so you can kind of shoot in different directions than as you're running. There's lots of little treasures and things to pick up along the way, and of course enemies. But this was I think I have like a copy, but it's just loose. So I was just kind of happy to get something that actually has the book. So let's see. This one is for the TI. It was just such an odd cart. Had to pick this up as well. It's Anteater 8K, and I'm sure since it's on the TI, it's not in 8K, but that probably refers to something else. Let's see. It's got a 1982 copyright. Looks a little bit like they put a screen on here. It looks a little bit like Dig Dug, if I'm being honest, but I'm sure it's got some other kind of play to it. But a very weird cart. It's Romox is the brand here on the cart. So that was in the pile. Let's see. Kooky also picked up this official book of King's Quest that he will probably never flip through, and why he got it, I have no idea. But there you go. I'm not sure if this is just recounting. Let's see. Okay, so this seems to be a lot about how the games were made and designed. So, yeah, there's even like some coding and stuff. So, it could be a pretty interesting book. I'm just giving him a hard time. But let's see. I also picked up a box copy of Atari Paint. I do actually have the Atari tablet for drawing on the Atari, so this was kind of cool to pick up. Got the diskette and the manual, so at least now I have the book, a manual, and the game. I think I have the cartridge version of this, not the disc. So I guess that's nice to pick up. Again, it's a little, you can kind of see it from this angle. It's got kind of a layer of dust and grime, but this will wipe off. Usually, you can just take something gently, like a paper towel or something and a little bit of Windex and just gently wipe it off. And most of these things are fine with that. So, and I don't remember how much each of these things were that I'm showing you because we bought kind of in stacks. So let me adjust something there. Okay. We bought these kind of in stacks, and some of it was mine, some of it was Kookie's, so I'm not totally sure what was what or how much was paid for some of this. But point being, I think like most everything, when we made a stack, it was like $5 or $10, that sort of thing. Oh, there, Area 51, thanks. Yeah, Temple of Rom, there's somebody that knows. It is definitely like one of those that, I'm being honest here. Like some of these older games, they're kind of fun for a little bit, and you sit down and you start playing them, and the novelty can wear off really quick. Temple of Rom is one of those that I could sit down on a Coco and just play probably for an hour or more easily, and stay very much interested in it. It's fun. That's all I can say for it right at the moment. I am definitely not claiming this for some reason. Cookie wanted the Commodore cookbook here. Kitchen Consultant. So I think just the oddity caught his eye on that. So, but kind of neat. It feels like it does have, there's some booklets. It looks like a couple floppy disks and booklets in here. So I guess everything. You could turn your Commodore into your recipe helper here. Yeah, not sure, but which one is rare? Are you talking about the cookbook or the Temple of Rom? Now this one, Cookie found I would definitely have wanted to pick this up as well. So. But this is just great. Forbidden Forest. Oh, the cookbook. Okay, well, cool. So this, I've seen it played. I've never gotten to play this myself, but this is a really neat game. I just love the little dance and music the guy does at the end of each of the stages. This is the cassette version of the game. This is for Atari. So, there. The cassette version has like the booklet. So I mean, nice find. Again, now this is all that same gentleman that I was talking about earlier. Still, let's see. This one was actually from. Here we go. Here's something from a different table. This Super Alien game. I don't currently have a VIC-20 right now. But and Cookie actually picked this up. I think it was $2. I want to say $2 or $3, something like that. But picked this one up just more because it had a cool cover. I don't have the Vic anymore at the moment. I had one for a little bit and then I downsized and kind of got rid of it. But it's always nice to have something, like a cartridge or two on hand. Because you never know. I mean, I get all kinds of things coming through, and it's nice to have something to test with, if nothing else. Now this, let's go back. We're going back to the old guy. This blew my mind. Now I walked over, and Cookie was there first and actually noticed them and pointed it out, and then I just started picking some up. Now, at first I thought, and I want to preface this a little bit. At first I was like, there's no way that's what I think it is. But then I started picking up boxes and they were empty. So it's like, it is what it is. But then I asked the gentleman, I'm like, well, how much are these empty boxes? And he said, well, if they're empty boxes, you can just have them. So here I am looking, and it's TurboGrafx. Oh, backgammon got in there. Here I'm looking, and it's TurboGrafx 16 boxes for games, and it's not just a few boxes. It is a lot of boxes, and I do mean a lot. Sidearms, Fighting Street. Well, there's like a little flyer for this. Newtopia. I'm still going, by the way. Final Lap. Monster Lair. Splatterhouse. I'm still going, by the way. Kadash. A Turbo Pad Pro box. Still going. Aeroblasters. Baseball, which is Alien Crush box. And the OG Legendary Axe. And the system instructions. He gave me this whole stack for free. I didn't pay a dime. Now, granted, again, like some of the other stuff, I mean, you can see these boxes are dirty. But, I mean, I don't even know when the last time I've seen TurboGrafx stuff in the wild of any sort. And the thing is, I have most all of these games. So I can, easily clean these up a bit and, just put some of my collection in here. I don't think there's any manuals. I'm more worried that there's likely to find spiders or something. I can feel a little bit of the card, or it's got, some of these have the those little styrofoam pieces inside of it. Looks like a lot of these all came from some different things. Trader John here, John's Comics. So, but I mean, that is just such a crazy find. I love Splatterhouse, by the way. I played the crap out of that as a kid. So, I mean, like I said, this was just mind-blowing to me as far as things go, to just get all that for free. Yeah, I mean, so like I said, they're going to need some TLC. So it's not like, hey, I got free, pristine boxes, but with a little bit of work, I mean, these are going to clean up just fine. And I think it'll look kind of nice. I'm going to put some of my CD cases for them in it. As to the question on manuals typically would not be inside these because the manual is in the CD case. That's why usually you don't see the manuals missing, because they were just part of the CD case itself that had not a CD but the Hue cards. So, oh yeah, I was really thrilled about this. So, let's move this. Okay. And pardon me for a second. Let me go grab some more, because, yeah, there's more. But we're almost through it, so 1 second. Here is some more stuff the same guy had. I think these ended up being $4 a piece, and I got a free... Where is it? Where did I stick it? 1 second. Where did I put that thing? Oh yeah, here it is. Ended up getting a free Apple computer sticker. It happened to be there with them. These ended up being 4 a piece, but I needed some. I've been needing and looking for some more games for my Coleco that I repaired pretty recently, and these were some pretty fun ones. Mousetrap, kind of okay, but hey, classic Mr. Do. I remember that being in the arcades way back. Centipede, which I love Centipede on anything. This game that I'm not sure about, the Heist, Not sure what this is, never played it, but looking forward to checking it out. And then Gateway to Abshi. So I've played a bit of, I think, Temple of Abshi on, I want to say Commodore, or maybe the Atari version, like the Atari computer, like the 520, 1040, that kind of Atari. But, these are kind of like a roguelike, I believe, or a rogue style game. So should be pretty fun. But, some fun titles. So that ended up being... it was 5 for $20, and I got the Apple sticker with it. Let's see here. Okay, a little bit more to go. This item. I ended up getting this from the same person that had the free cameras that I showed you at the beginning. It is a Nikon Coolscan. The little label on it said that the adapter that's in it right now only does slides. I may see about getting something so I could do film negatives. If nothing else, I was kind of needing another SCSI Terminator anyway, so this was $10. And I mean, after I got the free Yashica and the Sony camera anyway, it's like, you put all that together for $10. You just can't beat that. So obviously I'm not sure if it works or anything. It didn't say that it's broken, but I'll have to get some drivers. Thankfully, I think Steve said he has drivers for this model, so I can probably hit him up for that. And I'll have to see. But if it works, could be kind of nice. I do have a lot of old film negatives that if this does a good job, it might be worthwhile to use. Slides, at least you can flip it and keep the Terminator. Yep, I mean, that's always a possibility too. So let's see. I did pick up, we're getting maybe to some boring things, but hey, I just got what is this? The Apple Bus Mouse 2. I mean, can always use one of these. It was $1. So why not? I probably am starting to get to, I've got enough of these, but it seems like I just keep getting more Mac things that use ADB, and I don't have quite as many mice as I would like to. So keyboards I probably need worse than the mice at this point. Let's see. This was, I think I just brought this down myself. This wasn't from that. Let's see. I got this weird little thing. I've seen this online before. It's it's just like one of those phone chargers, but it's kind of neat because when you plug it in, it lights up like I don't know if, let me see if I can, do I have a way handy to plug that up here? I think I have just about, oh wait, yep, I can do that. Hold on. Plug that in there. Let's see. There you go. I mean, is that not cool? This was, I think I got this for like $5 at the thing. Even if I don't end up using it for phone charger, it's just kind of a neat little light up thing. Halloween's going on. I was thinking about, if nothing else, I can kind of just set it up as like just something to kind of look at. It every so often it'll relight up and show. I think if you have a phone charging on it, it will stay lit until it's done. But yeah, I remember seeing one of these somewhere online before, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So had to pick that up. These, I'm actually using one of these right now, but it was kind of funny. There was one table and a couple guys selling, and there were tons of these. He had like 2 boxes. There must have been, easily 200 or 300 of these things. And when I first went by, looked, and I was like, it looks kind of like maybe just like a USB hub, like a little round USB hub. I mean, useful, whatever, kind of thing. But as a matter of fact, one of my other friends, Tom, was there, and he bought a couple, and happened to just mention, he's like, hey, these guys have these cool little docking stations for $1 each. And no joke, this is a USB-C docking station. It has 2 USB 3, it has micro SD reader, it has another USB-C out, has 2 HDMI outputs as well, all run off of USB-C. These things were $1 each. I ended up buying 3 of these just because they're so handy, and I'm using one right now. It's running some of these cameras that are that I'm using for the stream. So, I mean, couldn't beat that. They sold almost all of one box and still had a bunch more to go. So, I'm hoping that somebody at least helped them clean out one of the boxes. So, yeah, actually, come to think of it, Steve should have picked you up one, Mike. You can yell at him later. So, let's see. What else? Okay. Just about to the end. Let's see. I did pick up this nice little deal here. This is a small-ish, this way. Okay. Little set of Dell satellite speakers with the base. There's also like a little a controller here. Oh, let me grab that. Nice little power on dial controller with the with the headphone jacks in the front, and of course the little power brick. Got this set for $2. And I mean, I've said it before, like on the socials, I'm always kind of on the lookout for any good computer speakers, because it seems like it's getting harder and harder to just find good computer speakers. So used up every dollar you brought. You're doing it right, Steve. So I mean, this obviously I can't really do much with it here on the stream. It wouldn't sound good over the mic probably anyway. But suffice to say, I did hook this up after I got home, and they sound great. It's pretty light, so we're not talking like heavy magnets, but it must just have some good design on the inside to really help channel the sound waves or something. So really happy with this. Definitely it'll be used with one of my setups, just kind of depending on what I'm up to at any given time. But just really happy to find that. Let's see. And let's see what's left. A couple more things. Okay, and the final couple items. I actually lied. I did get one free pile item. I found there was this Macintosh keyboard. I don't know if it works or not. This line here looks pretty suspect, but it appears to be wired in, so maybe the old one broke and somebody fixed it. I'll have to just kind of inspect it a little bit and see. So, but I ended up taking it. Steve was threatening that he was going to take it if I didn't, so I went ahead and grabbed it, because this is what I'm most short on is just some proper Apple keyboards to hook into things. So it's good to have a little extra. Now I was gonna show that off too. This was something that Kooky picked up, but I thought it was really neat too. I've played a little bit of Magic, not the actual cards, but the game on Steam that's basically the card game but just online. So, but picked up this set. It's just really cool with all the little figures and things that are in it. I think it's maybe mostly complete. Not totally sure. I think some of these guys are supposed to go here. So there might be a guy missing. Not sure, but it looks like all the heroes are here. Quite honestly, it's probably something that if there is a piece that's supposed to be there, you could probably just 3D print whatever else you need, because it's not like some of this stuff is that hard to come by. But yeah, it looks like a fairly complete set. It's been used. Maybe some of the pieces are hiding down in here, I'm not sure, but it was just something we thought, hey, we might check it out sometime. And I can't remember, I think this plus I think you got a set of dice. I want to say that this was like $5 or $10, something like that. So $5, yeah. So there you go. But yeah, I think that's everything. Just doing a scan. Yep, I think that's all the stuff. And I mean, I don't know how much more a person could want. Oh, there was. I'm not going to drag it over here. It's not that important. But we did actually even pick up one extra item. So from the one that I got, the Ed 209 and the RoboCop, there was also a neat little stand, for lack of a better word. It's got kind of like a metal base and like a extendable pole, kind of like you would use for studio lights or something like that. But at the top, it's got like an adjustable, sort of springy set of hooks or hands, whatever, and it's made for holding an iPad. I think the idea was that it's for, like, if you were using an iPad for a teleprompter or streaming or something like that, you could put it in and then have it like right there where you can kind of see it and adjust it. But we got it just kind of to use like with the treadmill or something, just to kind of have the iPad up when you're watching some YouTube or something like that. So one extra find. I think it ended up being like 15 for that. So, and it but yeah, I think that's everything that I found on this. So thanks for joining if you did, and if you're watching later, thank you for checking this out even afterwards. I'll probably I'm going to spend some time cleaning, going through all, I'll probably have some pictures to share as well. I did take quite a few also with my phone, so if you like to see kind of what you might have missed or what else might have been sitting around there, keep an eye. I usually post to the socials and share that sort of thing there as well. So, and we'll see. I might, if depending, maybe if I'm going through or tinkering with some things at a later date, maybe I'll try to stream some of it, especially if I'm testing out some of the stuff or playing some of the games. I definitely am anxious to start trying some of those Coco games. I've got to clean them first before I place them in the unit. And the same thing with the Coleco games. They need a good cleaning as well. So, so maybe if I do that, maybe I'll do try to see if I can stream that. Maybe even do, I do have some capture devices. It's possible I can even get that up on the screen. But, we'll save that for another stream, another time, see how that works out. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and, yeah, we'll catch you next time.